Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Rehab Christian Center Tuesday night life study experience. I am Dr. Zeb, and it's good to be with you tonight. And thank you so much for tuning in. Different time, same place, different time, but same message. And just grateful to be here with you, and certainly praying that you are having a phenomenal week so far. It's just Tuesday, but certainly praying that your week is going great so far and that all is well with you and your loved ones. Thank you again for making the adjustment. You know, so crazy. Finally, the text messaging worked. If you're subscribed to our text messaging, all you have to do to subscribe is text REHABCC to 88202. Text REHABCC to 88202. And as you all know, we always send reminders out about our services, events. And finally, I was able to get a text through because I did not use thirst trap, cuffing season, hoe, words like that. And so finally, the system let me send it through. So if you are subscribed, you should have finally received a notification about our service or our experience tonight. And so just grateful again that you've tuned in and thankful that you've tuned in to Life Study. Now, I need to start sharing this video quickly. Tonight, I am teaching from the subject Trust Again, and it should sound familiar because back in early January, I taught this same message, Trust Again. And I think I taught it on a Sunday, but I want to teach it tonight and really connect the dots to what we shared on Sunday. Sunday is a very powerful lesson. I want to connect the dots here because as I mentioned Sunday, so many people or some people wonder, hey, you know, Dr. Zell, what does trust have to do with thirst traps and relationships? Well, it's got a lot to do with it because trust is really so foundational. Trust is really so foundational to the relationships that you have, whether they're friendships, romantic relationships, whatever else kind of ship. And so trust is critical to how we interact and engage with people. And so I want to give you three practical ways to build your trust again tonight. And went back and watched the replay, watched, of course, for your prayer request, but went back and watched the replay from Sunday. And just really what a wonderful experience we had sharing some very easy to understand examples of how we should, again, not allow the past to hold our future hostage. It's so critical that you understand the disconnect point between where you are, where you've been, and of course, where you're going. And so I want to deal with that tonight. Trust again. I want you to go ahead and start tagging people, tell them to tune in. I'm going to run through the networks really quickly because we do have this late start time. I promise to be done by 8:55 Eastern time. All right. I'm going to try my best to hold that on this Tuesdays, but I'm going to be honest with you. I like this late start. I do. But anyway, I'll get to that in a second. Facebook, good evening to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Those that are tuned in via Facebook, it is good to see you virtually. If you're on Facebook and you're watching through Facebook, I want you to like this video. If you really like this broadcast, I want you to hold down that like option, turn it to a love. I want you to hit that share button, hit the @ symbol, and tag 5 people right now and tell them to tune in. We are about to teach from the subject Trust Again, and this is going to be powerful. And I want you to invite 5 people and tell them to tune in tonight. All right. And so would you do that for me, Facebook? Again, like this video, hold it down, turn it to a love. And then I want you to hit that @ symbol and tag 5 people and tell them to hurry up and get on the broadcast. I'm going to give you 3 practical steps or ways you can rebuild your trust. You can rebuild your ability to trust. I understand some of you are wounded. Some of you have gone through some tough experiences. But you know what we do here at the Rehab Christian Center. We're going to give you some very practical ways you can rebuild trust. And you're going to be glad you tuned in tonight. So thank you so much. Instagram, good evening to you. Those of you that are tuning in via Instagram, if you're on the line on Instagram, can't see everybody that is on, fill it up with hearts. Let me know that you're tuned in. Fill it up with hearts if you're on Instagram. And then also if you're on Instagram, hit that @ symbol. And I want you to go down your friends list and tag 5 of your friends and tell them to, hey, tune in. Listen into this message tonight. We are teaching from the subject Trust Again. And this is going to be powerful. I'm going to give you 3 very practical ways you can rebuild your ability to trust. All right. Because some of you have given up completely on this whole idea of being able to trust people. And again, I can't stress it enough. You cannot let your future be held hostage because of the drama of your past. You cannot do it. You can't afford to do it in this season or any other season of your life. And so again, Instagram, fill it up with hearts, hit that @ symbol, tag 5 people, tell them to tune in. YouTube, good evening to you. Those of you that are tuning in via YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like our channel. You can find us on YouTube at TheREHABCC. Like our channel, like this video, hit that share button. And I also want you to share this video with 5 people as well, and tell them to tune in tonight for, again, what will be a very powerful message. And again, just grateful you tuned in and grateful you joined in with us on tonight. We are going to teach from the subject, trust again, and I'm going to get right into it. And the foundation of this is coming from where we were on Sunday, which was Proverbs chapter number 3. Now, again, I'm not going to read through it. I read through it on Sunday. Go back and watch the replay of Sunday if you need to really get some foundational stuff related to tonight. But this is coming from Proverbs chapter number 3. And I'm going to give you 3. That's all I'm going to give you tonight. 3 practical steps to rebuild your trust, or rebuild your ability to trust. That's really important. 3 practical ways to rebuild your ability to trust is what I'm going to share with you tonight. And so again, if you have not already put in the subject line or put in the comments area the subject, which is trust again. And I'm going to give you, again, 3 practical ways you can rebuild your ability to trust. It's so important that you do not hold the future past or hostage because of things that have happened in the past. Again, I want to say thank you tonight for all of you for understanding my desire to be a father. Forrest started basketball tonight. He is 8, but he's playing 2 teams. He's playing the 9 and 10 team. And he started tonight playing with the bigger kids, and he held it down. And I was really proud. I was really proud of him. I'm coaching the 9 and 10 team, co-coaching, assistant coach of the 9-10 team, and he's playing on the 7 and 8 team as well. And I'm not coaching that team. And so just really proud of him out there giving the 9 and 10-year-olds work with his 8-year-old self. And I was proud of that. And so I appreciate you all, just being flexible with me. If you learn anything about me, especially those of you that have tuned in to Rehab, especially during this pandemic season that we were in, if you learn anything about me, hopefully knows anything about me, is I believe in balance, and I try to live the way I talk it. And so spending that time with them and engaging with them in their athletics and their co-curricular activities is really important. And so I just appreciate the flexibility. And so again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and being flexible. Now, I'm going to give you 3 steps. 3 steps to rebuild your ability to trust. 3 steps to rebuild your ability to trust. All right. Step number 1. All right. Record this. You'll be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. All right. Record this. Step number 1. Renew the power of love within you. Right. We're talking about thirst traps, cupping seas, relationships, friendships, any other kind of shit, situationships, whatever. Step number 1. Renew the power of love within you. All right. If you go back and look at Proverbs chapter 3, verses 3 through 4, the writer talks about letting love and faithfulness never leave you, right? Binding them around your neck, writing them as a tablet, like you're writing on a tablet within your heart. Then you're going to find favor with God and with man. All right. So the renewing the power of love within you is important because the greatest emotion that any of us can experience is love. Love is the greatest emotion that any of us can experience. And I want you all to record this. This is important. Love is the greatest emotion that any of us can ever experience. Why? Because there's no greater force that exists. Love is the greatest force that exists. How do we know? Well, God is love. It's simple. If God is love and God is the greatest power that exists among us, then love, because God is love, has to be the greatest emotion that we can ever exist, that ever exists. Love has the ability to heal. Love has the ability to correct. Love has the ability to engage. Love has the ability to change things. Love has the ability to repair things. Love has the ability to forgive. Love is just the most powerful emotion that exists. So then, this is important. If God is love and you are struggling to trust, you are probably struggling with God. I didn't mean to hit y'all in the white meat tonight, but I want to say this again slow. If God is love and you are struggling to trust, it's a good chance you're probably struggling with God. What do you mean, Dr. Zeb? I'm struggling with God. I'm talking about your spiritual relationship with him. Because as I said Sunday, and I want to make very clear tonight, that as you begin to trust in God, you recognize God for not just being someone who saves you, right? Not just being someone who pays your bills and not being someone who heals you and makes you feel better. You also get to know him as the safety net, meaning it's easier for you to put your trust in people because you know God's got you if people don't handle you right. God's got you if situations don't handle you right. God's got you if certain relationships or connections, fall apart or go awry. You know you've got a safety net that you can fall on. And so it's simple. If then you know God is love, and love is the greatest emotion that ever exists, if you know God is love and you are struggling to trust people, it is a really good chance you are probably struggling with God, right? And so we cannot lose sight of that. When you got God, you got love. And when you have love, because you got God, you have the ability then to trust. So again, people that make that statement, we talked about Sunday, that make that statement, I got trust issues, I can't trust nobody, I can't believe in it. It's a good chance that those types of people are probably struggling in their walk and in their relationship with God. It's that simple. Because again, when he's your safety net, and I said it Sunday, and it's worth repeating tonight, because he's your safety net, people can hurt you, but they can't destroy you. Relationships can go bad. Friendships can go bad. Whatever's can go bad. That stuff can hurt you, but it can't destroy you. And the reason it cannot destroy you is because you've got a different safety net. So this is critically important. All right. We cannot lose sight of that. Now, this is the reason why we can say you have a heart issue. Remember, we talked about week 1 in this Thirst Traps relationship series that we started. We talked about having heart issues and the connection between how we love and the trickiness that is our heart, and how our heart can have us feeling and thinking. Right? But this is the reason why we can say you have a heart issue, because your heart is where God lives. He lives there. And so let's walk it all the way back again. I'm trying to make this make sense. If God is love and you're struggling to trust, you're probably struggling with God. And if you're struggling with God, you are probably having heart challenges, right? It all connects. And so when you struggle to trust people, I want you to record this, and this is important. If you are one of those people tonight that are struggling to trust people, I want you to re-examine the way you see God. All right? Again, I want you to record this. If you're one of those people tonight that say, hey, Pastor, I'm struggling with trusting people, I need all of you to re-examine how you see God. Because the way you see him as a bill payer, as a person that make you shout, as a person to heal your body, is just a part of who he is. God, if we know him to be love and you're struggling to trust people, you got to re-examine how you see God. Because it's a good chance that the way you see God, or you're not seeing him, is impacting your ability to put your trust not only in God, which is ultimately the most important place to put your trust. Not only is it impacting the way you put your trust in God, it is ultimately impacting the way you put your trust in people. And we can say what we want to say. Unfortunately, you can't live in the bubble. You have to function around other people. You have to function connected to people. You have to, in many regards, rely on people to do certain things like live and work and eat and function, carry out family duty. You have to rely on people. So you're not living in a bubble. So at a certain point, in a certain time, you're going to have to trust people. And again, people who struggle to trust people are probably people who are struggling with the way they see God. And the way they see God is either really skewed, or it's really not the way they should see him. Because if he's love, then it's going to be easier for you to trust people. I want you to record this. Watch. This is important. You can even trust people. I'm going to lose some of you when I say this. Now, let me warn you. I want you to record this, though. You can even trust people who hurt you when you know what's inside of you. We're talking about renewing the power of love inside of you, right? God is love and he lives inside of you, then love ought to live there, right? That's a step one, or first way you can rebuild your ability to trust. You can even trust people who hurt you when you know what's inside of you. Nah, Pastor, fool me once, how it go? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, or something like that. I don't know. I hear you. I got you. I understand how you feel, but here's the reality. Again, if God's living inside of you, you can even grow to trust people who hurt you when you know what's inside of you, when you know who's inside of you. It's the truth. So again, that's a hard pill for you to swallow if spiritually you have not matured to the place to understand that people can only do but so much to you. Right? And we talked a lot about this Sunday, and I know I rubbed some of y'all a little on the edge, but that's okay. And some of this stuff that we blaming people for as it relates to trust issues and not being able to get down with people, some of this stuff is just rooted in the fact that we have not taken responsibility for our part in it too. Again, if you've been burned in a relationship, 10 relationships, and you got burned 10 exact same ways, it's a good chance that it wasn't all 10 of their fault. Like you played a role in that. And we got some consistent evidence that shows that you probably played a role in it. And so you learn how to even trust people. And well, let me take that back. You grow to learn to be able to trust people who even hurt you when you are comfortable with who's inside of you, with what's inside of you. So again, let's not walk around and boast and brag and say, hey, I don't trust nobody. I don't get down with nobody. I mean, it sounds cute the first 1 or 2 times, but at a certain point, you got to ask yourself, you got to challenge your mentality and ask yourself, is it really cool that I'm walking around here paranoid thinking everybody's against me and I can't trust anybody? Is that really cool? Or should I be in a place where there's a power inside of me? There's a source inside of me that's so strong that I don't allow myself to walk around worrying about what people can do to me or worrying about what people will do to me, or worrying over what people have done to me, right? When the source inside of you is good, yeah, it hurts if they hurt you. Yeah, it stings if they offend you. Yeah, it bothers you if they don't do right by you. I get that. I'm not telling you not to be human. But what I'm saying is, remember what I said Sunday, go back to the notes. Your recovery time after hurt is faster when you check the source of love inside of you. When you check the power or renew the power of love inside of you, when you renew the power of love inside of you, when you check the source inside of you, your recovery time is faster because you're not relying on your own strength, but you are relying on a power inside of you that's greater than the hurt, that's greater than the pain, that's greater than the disappointment. All right. So you got to renew the power of love inside of you. And part of it, let me just say this too. This is really important as well. It connects. Because part of renewing the power of love inside of you is also this. It is recommitting yourself to self-love. Sometimes when your trust has been abandoned, when your trust has been abused, sometimes the easiest way to recover from that is to recommit yourself to loving yourself better. And I think I said this either last week or week before last. Some of you have put so much energy into loving everybody but you that by the time they finish hurting you, you ain't got no strength to turn around and love yourself out of it. Is this making sense to anybody? And so this is also a good opportunity for you to rebuild the power of self-love. You got to renew the power of love inside of you. Rebuild your ability to love yourself. Rebuild, renew your ability to love yourself, because it's easy when people hurt you to lose sight of the fact of how important self-love is, how important loving on you is, right? When people offend you, come on, let's just keep it 100 here. When people offend you, when people hurt you, when people harm you, if you ain't careful, you'll start questioning yourself based on what people did to you. Am I talking to anybody? Is there anybody listening tonight, live on replay, that has ever been offended so bad that you actually started questioning if you were a decent person? Like the offense was so heavy that you started questioning if you were a decent person, if you were a good person, because you got hurt so bad, you got offended so bad. And this is why when you are offended, You can't fall into that rut. Sometimes the very first step to rebuilding your ability to trust others is then reconnecting to this idea of loving you first, right? Yes, you hurt me. Yes, you offended me. But before I get back to trusting anybody, let me renew the power of love inside of me, which includes recommitting myself to a spirit of self-love. Does that make sense to anybody, right? And it's sexy now. You see the term self-love, self-care thrown out now ad nauseum, almost like, what's the other word they use a lot? I can't stand the word. It really annoys me. Oh God, what's the word? Self-love, self-care, trigger. Some of y'all wouldn't know what a trigger was if it hit you, right? We have really sensationalized a lot of these terms. And everything ain't a trigger. Some stuff you did to yourself. And I don't have time to deal with that tonight. But some of this stuff that y'all calling a trigger, oh, they trigger me, this triggers me, is stuff that you have done to yourself that you need to heal and recover on your own. Stop blaming people for the stuff that you have not recovered from yourself. Anyway, I ain't got time to deal with that. The point being, self-love is also one of those terms that we just throw out there. And I don't think people really understand just how important a rededication or recommitment to self-love is. And it is. When you've been offended, you got to sometimes remind yourself of how valuable you are. You got to sometimes, especially if you're a good person. Now, if you raggedy, I don't mean no harm, but let me just say what it is. If you raggedy and you out here living any kind of way and you doing people any kind of way, and then people do you any kind of way, then you just reap what you sow. Like what goes around comes around, right? So I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about those of you that are really decent people. You might not be perfect. That means you do everything right, but you're decent people. You try to do well by people, and you've been hurt by people. People have destroyed your ability to trust them, have hurt you, have abused you, have taken advantage of you. If you're not careful, the pain can be so devastating that you will look yourself in the mirror and start questioning your own worth and questioning your own value. And you know you're a good person, but you have been abused and hurt so bad that you begin to then attach your thoughts about yourself to what people have done to you. And you got to get out of that. Right? So don't go down that bunny hole. Don't go down that rabbit trail. We break that by renewing the power of love within us. Does that make sense? If it does, type yes. All right. If that makes sense, I want you to type yes. Let me know I'm making sense to you. Okay. But that's what self-love is. Self-love is renewing the power of love inside of you. And the power of love that is renewed inside of you starts with reminding yourself of how valuable you are, reminding yourself of how worthy you are, reminding yourself of how good you are, reminding yourself of how solid you are, reminding yourself of how trustworthy you are, reminding yourself of what you deserve, reminding yourself of what you don't deserve. You have to sometimes do this to pull yourself out of this rut so you can then walk down the trail of trusting again. All right. Second step. The second way to rebuild your ability to trust is this. Record this. You have to be honest with yourself about everything that has ever happened to you. All right. You have to be honest with yourself about everything that has ever happened to you. Be honest with yourself about everything that has ever happened to you. Okay? I want you to be honest with yourself about everything that has ever happened to you. Right? Remember, we're in Proverbs 3. Proverbs 3, verse 5 and 6 says, we read this Sunday, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not to your own understanding. Verse 6, in all your ways acknowledge him. He will direct your path. He will make your path straight. This is what I need you to remember. Part of trusting others with all your heart is giving all of your heart to God. And when you give all of your heart to God, you are then positioning yourself to be vulnerable to him. When you are vulnerable to God, you are then honest with God about everything you are. Here we go. And you're also honest with God about everything you are not. You are honest with God about everything you are. And you are also honest with God about everything you are not. And this is important. Do you, and let me just ask this question to maybe make this make sense and put it in proper context. Do you trust people that you're in relationships with, friendships with, whatever? Do you trust people who don't offer their entire heart to you? Do you trust people who only tell you, give you part of their heart? Only give you part of the story? Only vulnerable with you to a certain point? Are open about certain things, secretive about a lot of things? Do you trust people like that? You don't? You don't. And so you can't fully trust people that operate like that, but you operate like that in the same vein as it relates to God. Some of you say you trust God, but here's the thing. When you say, I trust God, what you are saying is, I am willing to be vulnerable with God. Now, here's the catch-22. Being vulnerable with God is a catch-22 because, he knows everything anyway, right? But think along the context of a parent. If you're a parent or uncle or aunt or grandparent, you know when kids have done wrong. You know it. And sometimes you ask them, hey, what have you done? You know what they've done as a parent, but you ask them why, to see if they are willing to be vulnerable and tell you what it is and what it ain't. And in doing so, it builds the bridge of trust between you and your kid, you and your grandkid, you and your nephew, you and your niece, right? If you know they took an extra cookie, you told them to get 2, they got 3. You know they took an extra cookie and you ask them, did you get another cookie? And you know they took it and they look you in the face and say, yeah, I took an extra cookie. I'm sorry. I wasn't right. What that does is it builds the bridge of trust between you and that child. Now, does it mean you ain't going to be disappointed? Yes. I know we're just talking about cookies, but catch the revelation, the example. Yes, you're going to be disappointed because they did not do what you asked them to do, but are you going to trust them for being honest? You absolutely will. And here's the bottom line, y'all. You cannot expect God to position you to receive honesty from other people. Watch, when you ain't been honest with him. Oh, y'all need to record that. See, some of y'all struggling to trust people, and you struggling to trust people's honesty because you know deep down inside you don't even keep it real with God. Heck, some of y'all don't even, I almost said the other word. Heck, some of y'all don't even keep it real with yourself. You want people to be honest with you, and you ain't even honest with you. You want people to be honest with you so you can trust them. You ain't even telling you the truth about you. Like you walking around, some people literally tell themselves so many lies about them that they begin to believe their own lies. It is possible that you can feed yourself so much baloney about you that over time you start to believe what you've been feeding yourself. Let me ask you a crazy rhetorical question. Then if you can't be honest with you, how are you expecting other people to be honest with you? If you can't be honest with God, how are you expecting other people to be honest with you? So then, Dr. Zeb, what's the answer? Here's the answer. You got to have a David spirit. Here's the thing that kept David off the hook. David in the Bible kept David off the hook, who was a great king, a great fighter and warrior, but also slept with another man's wife, had the man's wife, slept with another man's wife, had the wife's husband killed, had a baby, the baby died, and he got pregnant again, had another baby. God honored that eventually after, he repented. See, that's how David got out of stuff. David was grimy. David did some crazy stuff, but David always kept it real with God. Let me tell y'all, the key to being able to trust other people, this is mind blowing. This is better than y'all saying amen. The key to being able to trust other people for real is keeping it real with yourself and keeping it real with God. It's the key. And people, let me put y'all on some game, right? Let's connect it to relationships, right? This Thirst Traps relationship series. Let me connect it to relationships so this makes sense. You want an easy way to be able to build trust with people that you're in relationships with? Here's an easy way to be able to build trust with people you're in relationships with. Walk in vulnerability with them Be very honest and candid with them about you, what you are and what you're not. And if you want that same energy back from them, when you show them what vulnerability looks like, it makes it comfortable for them to be vulnerable with you. You see, some of y'all be playing. Y'all be meeting people. Look, this relationship thirst trap series, I might as well go there real quick. I got about 7 minutes. I'm gonna go there real fast. Y'all be meeting people and y'all be lying about the dumbest stuff, the easiest stuff. How many boyfriends you had? How many girlfriends you had? One. Negro, you done been in 4 relationships in the last 12 months. Why y'all lying? You lying about little stuff. And see, that positions you to reap mistrust from the people you connected to. Because if you lying, you automatically gonna look at the person you connected to as a liar. Why? Because you're not even being honest with yourself, and you know it. Answer the question. How many boyfriends you had in the last 5 years? Well, I had about 12. Just tell the truth. And they're gonna be like, 12? Wow. Yeah. And go ahead and be honest. I had 12. I made some bad decisions. You know, I was going through some things. But you create atmospheres. You create an atmosphere of trust when you are willing to be vulnerable first. And see, many of y'all want people to be open and honest with you, and you ain't even open and honest with yourself. You ain't even open and honest with them. You ain't even honest with you telling yourself lie. Here's another one y'all be lying about. Y'all be lying about body counts. I said it. And I'm going to keep this rated G because this ain't Rehab After Dark. They ain't listen to me, Elder. Y'all be lying about body counts. How many people you slept with? 4. More like 44. Yeah, girl, just 6 people. More like 16. Y'all stop lying. And then you wonder why you don't trust her when she go to the store. You know why you don't trust her? It ain't got nothing to do with her. You don't trust her because you ain't even been honest with yourself about you. This is free game, y'all. This is free game. You want them to be honest with you? Tell them the truth. How many folks you been with? About 29. What? Yeah. Did you use protection? Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a little better. 29, though? You got to be honest. If you want to reap trust, you got to give trust. Y'all don't like that. Y'all didn't like that, did you? Because some of y'all been lying about your body count. It's too late, y'all. I don't have time to mess with y'all tonight. I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm all of that. I got work to do. I'm not going to mess with y'all tonight. But y'all know I'm telling the truth. You plant seeds of mistrust by how you refuse to be vulnerable with people. But more than that, you refuse to be honest with yourself. Some of y'all walking around answering that question in your mind. Yeah, I ain't been with 6 people. You know you've been with 60 people. And you have told the lie so much that you really walk around acting like you only been with 6 people. Stop. If you want to reap the trust, you got to be vulnerable and honest with you first. There's somebody out here that God could have for you that'll love you and your body count if you're honest about it. Everybody's made mistakes. I didn't mean to take this conversation this route, but I feel led to just go ahead. I'm just going to say it. Everybody's made mistakes. Most people on this call have made that mistake with people, and you wish you could take some of your body count numbers back. This ain't Rehab After Dark. I'm not going to go there because I know some of your kids probably watching. I don't want you to have to explain nothing tonight. But you know I'm telling the truth. If some of you could redo some of the folk on your body count list, some of them Negroes wouldn't be on your list. And some of these kids wouldn't be here either. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. Everybody makes mistakes. It's okay. But what God honors is he honors vulnerability. He ain't thinking about the mistakes. Church people think about your mistakes. Judgmental people think about your mistakes. People who turn their nose up and act like they ain't slept with nobody think about your mistakes, which is why I don't give 5 cents about these churching folk, these folk in church that be wearing these long skirts and long dresses, and all they do is go to church and they don't ever go nowhere and all of this stuff. Most guys can't handle body count lists from females, though. It's the truth. I'm going to come to that in a second. I'm not going to lose that thought. But y'all, this is why I don't pay these folk in church, these long skirts, that all they do go to church and had y'all thinking they ain't been with nobody. I don't pay them 2 cents of mine because I'm telling you, their body count's just as high, if not higher, than folk that don't go to the street. I'm telling you what I know. They be getting down. Okay, so I don't care nothing about that. Right now, Elder Missy said something crucial here, and I want to deal with it. She said most guys can't handle body count lists from females. Right. In other words, females can handle a guy saying, "Yeah, I've been whatever." Females can get beyond that, and it's true. I'm not disputing that. And males struggle with that. But males, listen to me. What's good for them is good for you too. What's good for them? Don't ask questions you ain't ready to hear the answer to. My mama taught me a long time ago. Dad taught me a long time ago. Do not ask questions you're not ready to hear the answer to. So again, you're going to know you're moving in a place of vulnerability where you want to be trusted when you can be honest enough with yourself to not only hear your own answer, but be able to receive others. Because I found this out. When you're honest with you and you can deal with your own issues, then you find the grace to extend with other people. If you know your body count 19 and you meet her and she tell you her body count 25, but y'all clicking and y'all get along great and y'all see things the same way and y'all are meshing well, then guess what? Guys, you ain't gonna be running in the back of your head, man. Her body count 25, mine just 19. That might be a no one. No, the same grace you found to get beyond your 19 is the same grace you're gonna be able to find if she the real one. It's the same grace you're gonna be able to find to get beyond her 25. I know y'all don't like the way I'm teaching. It's okay. Can't have a double standard. 25, that's too high. Wait a minute, what about your 19? You ain't but 6 off. Let me just move on from this because I feel myself going left. Does this make sense? So vulnerability and learning to trust also introduces an element of grace that I don't have time to deal with. But guys, what's good for you is also good for the ladies as well. Sister Latanya said, why are we asking people about their body count? You better ask. Y'all don't egg me. See, I think you did that on purpose because you're trying to egg me on because y'all know better. You better, in 2021, y'all better be asking about body counts. I mean, do I need to say more on that? I don't have time to fool. Y'all better be asking. It's 2021. Y'all not asking folk about their body count. Did I miss a memo or something? Did I miss? Am I still in the 90s? What's up? Did I miss the memo? Y'all better be asking about body counts. You better. Let me move on. I think Sister Latanya is playing with me tonight. Don't egg me on. Do not egg me on because it don't take a lot. Stop. Now she laughing. Don't do it. All right. Third step to rebuild your ability to trust, and I'm done. Here's the third step, and this is the final one. Dr. Van said they fall off after 8 years like a credit report. I agree with that. I'm going to have to steal that. Yeah, but here's the thing. Y'all make it 8 years? I ain't got time to deal with that. I'm not going to deal with that. Now y'all talking about this, what you don't know won't hurt you kind of thing. This is not a rehab after dark, but ladies, let me help y'all. Let me help y'all. Ladies, we can tell. That's all I'm going to say. Mother Brenda's on the line. I'm not going to get corrected by her. My parents might be tuning in. I didn't already cross the line many times on many of my lives. I'm not going to go there. Well, let me just tell y'all this. This whole, it's a what you don't know won't hurt you kind of thing is a lie from the pit of hell. Now, ladies, I don't know what y'all can tell, but let me tell you something as a man. We can tell. If you tell me your body count too, yeah, y'all better listen. Dr. Van said, go eat your dinner. Because she already know. Don't play with me. Yeah, some of y'all. Number 3, y'all egging me, and I'm about to go off on this live. Don't play with me. Do not play with Pastor. Okay? Because don't take a lot. Some of y'all lying. Yeah, my body count too. And they get in there and fall right back out. I mean, Number 3, I'm sorry, Mother Brenda. I love you. Pray for your pastor. Let me just breathe here. All right. Number 3, let wisdom be the guide that guides you. Yeah, I'm telling you, I got to take some deep breaths because I'm about to go in. Ain't a wall in sight. And you talking about some of your body count too. Okay. Anyway. Ain't a wall in sight. And I'm not talking about the walls in your house. Let wisdom be the guide that guides you. Now, I'm going to say that for Rehab After Dark because y'all don't want, or maybe my Monday live. I'm going live Monday, so y'all know what's about to happen. I'll save it from there. Yeah, you're going to need some pearls. Y'all better stop playing with me. Jesus be a wall. Let wisdom, number 3, be the guide that guides you. And again, I'm not criticizing people. Oh God, let me quantify this. I'm not criticizing people with high body counts. Everybody's made mistakes. I'm not criticizing people with high body counts. I'm talking about the lying that people do. Y'all stop lying. If you want to reap trust, you got to be honest with yourself and be honest with people. Y'all stop lying. All right, number 3, let wisdom be the guide that guides you. Y'all just, let's move on. Thank you, Sister Laura. I'm going to stop. I'm going to move on. Just let wisdom be the guide that guides you. Let wisdom be the guide that guides you. Verse 7 and 8 of Proverbs chapter 3 says, don't be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord. Get away from evil. This brings health to your body. This brings strength to your bones. Right? And so the third step in rebuilding trust is then after you've learned how to love yourself again, after you've learned how to be honest with you so you can be honest with other people and expect that in return, then you got to walk in wisdom. You got to walk in wisdom. And your perspective, it's Monday. My next live is Monday at 8:30 on my channel. And it's going to be lit. When wisdom leads you, it changes your perspective on everything. Your perspective changes when wisdom is at the forefront of what you do. Right? Now, it doesn't mean you're going to always get things right. It doesn't mean you're going to always be perfect, but wisdom will lead you and guide you in better directions. All right? And so this will then help you not to place your fear in people or to place your trust in people or your fear in what people can do to you or your worry in what people can do to you. Here we go. Now, Yamil is asking the time for the live. Yamil, it is going to be 8:30 on Monday, 8:30 Eastern time. Here we go. This is not good. It's going to be on my own personal Facebook at Zev the Third on Facebook. This is not good. I'm gonna get banned from Facebook fooling with y'all because y'all just be egging me on, and y'all know I ain't scared to say it. Mother Brenda, don't let Mother Brenda tune in Monday. Okay, y'all just do not let Mother Brenda tune in Monday. All right. But when wisdom guides you, you then don't allow fear to get the best of you. You don't worry about what people are going to do to you. Why? Because you're making decisions that are better rooted in wisdom. Again, because I want to be clear here. I think sometimes when people say, oh, I got wisdom, we put them on a pedestal and say, yeah, not my parents too. We put them on a pedestal and say, oh, well, they're wise people. They don't make mistakes. No, sometimes wise people make some of the dumbest mistakes. Being wise doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. Wisdom is only impactful if it leads you. Wisdom is only impactful if it guides you. Wisdom is only impactful, here we go, if you use it. There's a whole lot of smart people that's got credentials that ain't using their credentials, and you can look at their life and see the dumb decisions they're making. So having wisdom is just part of the battle. Having knowledge, understanding is just part of the battle. You got to have the ability to utilize what you have, right? And this is the third step in helping us to rebuild trust, because again, this helps us to then embrace vulnerability, right? Even when fear is there, wisdom doesn't mean you're going to always get it right, but wisdom says you're going to always be okay. That's the last bullet point I want to record you, all right? I'll give for you to record. Wisdom doesn't mean you're going to always be right, but it means you'll always be okay. Okay? Wisdom does not mean you will always be right, but wisdom does mean you will always be okay. Right? Wisdom doesn't mean you'll always get it right, but wisdom does mean you will always be okay. All right, I will do that, Sister Kiana. I'll put it on my YouTube as well Monday. Wisdom doesn't mean you're going to always get it right, but wisdom means you will always be okay. Why? Because even when you don't get it right, wisdom will help you regroup faster, recover faster. It'll help you come to your senses faster. And this is the easiest example I can give you. How many of you have done stupid things and you knew it was stupid when you were doing it? You knew it was stupid when you were about to do it. You knew it was stupid when you did it. You knew it was stupid after you did it. So the wisdom was there. But having the wisdom while you did it, before you did it, after you did it, helped you to come to your senses faster. You knew it was stupid from the start. So when it was over or done, you were able to recover faster because you went in knowing it was stupid. Does that make sense? Right? So having wisdom helps you to recover faster because it helps you to come to your senses faster. All right? And so those are things that I want you to remember. This bless anybody, y'all. I'm out of time. Wow. This really goes by really fast, but I really like this time, y'all. I like this time period. It is a little bit later. It's my schedule is a little stretched to say the least. But I really like this time period. And so we'll continue this while I'm coaching the next couple of weeks. But if this blessed you, I want to see you fill it up with hearts. Listen, I'm getting ready to pray for you. If you've got a prayer request, I want you to type in your prayer request really quickly. I want to pray for you. I want you to know every morning, 4:15, I'm getting up. I've been up actually a little bit later the last couple of mornings, around 5:03 the last couple of mornings, because I've had long nights working. I've got another long night. As soon as I finish, I'm going to eat. And then I've got a few more hours of work tonight. So it's just been some long days and long evenings for me, a lot going on, a lot of things trying to finish up and wrap up, get done. So I've been giving myself an extra hour of sleep in the mornings, if you all don't mind. So, 4:15, 5:03 at the latest, I've been up praying over your prayer requests, and I want to pray for you. And so if you got a prayer request, I want you to type in your prayer request right now in the comments. If you're watching the replay, type it in the comments. If you've got a prayer request that we cannot read, you can email your prayer request to info@rehabcc.org. That's info@rehabcc.org. Put in the subject line, prayer request, all caps, prayer request, so it can be routed to my email address so that I can read it and respond to you. I want you to know that I pray over your requests. I take this part of our broadcast very seriously. So you don't ever have to go through life, work, your relationships, family situations, personal situations, health situations, whatever. You don't ever have to go through any of those things wondering if somebody's praying for you. I'm praying for you. If nobody else on this planet is praying for you, I want you to know that I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your family. I love that prayer request for healing, breaking generational curses, better and clear decision making. I like that, Yamil. Patience, empathy, health. Some of you just saying, hey, just pray for me. I am praying for you. I want you to know that. And because I believe that prayer still works, I'm a living witness that it does. And so make sure you put in your prayer request. After you do that, I want you to connect your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith, right where you are. It doesn't matter where you are. If you're laying down, if you're sitting at the dinner table, maybe you're just sitting in the living room, you're about to read, do some work. I want you to stop what you're doing and just connect your hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. We're going to act like we're holding hands. I want you to connect your hands like this, because I want to touch and agree with you right where you are and pray over your prayer requests really quickly. All right. Because I want this to be a powerful week for you, an impactful week for you, a week much like my week already. It's just Tuesday, but God has just been opening tremendous doors. And I am really grateful for you. All right. Let's connect hands like this as a sign and symbol of faith. I'm praying for you. All right. Let's do it. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you tonight for your word. Thank you for this time of gathering you've given us. Thank you for this time of sharing you've given us. I pray that somebody through your word has been empowered, has been encouraged, has even been challenged tonight to see trust, to see self-love, to see the way we are honest with ourselves in an entirely different way. Help us, God, to be the best versions of us we can be. Help us to understand that trust isn't always a matter of what people do to us, but it's a matter of where our love and our confidence is placed in you. So help us, God, to recenter our confidence and our faith and our love and our trust in you, so that we then again can be everything that you called us to be and more. Now, God, for every prayer request that's come across this line, that's come across the live broadcast, that has been typed in through the replay, that has been emailed to our inbox, we speak to those requests now. We ask that you would answer the prayers of your people as only you can. Make ways, open doors, and meet needs. Grant hearts' desires. We thank you, God, for a week that is filled with miracles, open doors, made ways, met needs, granted hearts' desires. That, God, you would heal bodies, that you would touch families, that you would touch those to be able to make better decisions. Help us, God, to be more vulnerable with ourselves and vulnerable with you. Help us to be more honest with ourselves and honest with you, so that, again, God, we can be everything you called us to be and more. I thank you, God, for a week filled with miracles, filled with answered prayers, filled with expected expectations, as only you can grant. We count these things done and believe you for them in Jesus' name. Amen. Do me a favor. I want you to type in the comments right now, "It is so." Would you do that for me quickly? It is so. It is so. It is so. If you prayed that prayer of faith, I want you to type in the comments right now, "It is so." Quickly. God's going to give you wisdom. He's going to give you better judgment concerning your life. He's going to lead you down better paths. He's going to give you the strength and the courage to make better decisions. I'm grateful for that. And I'm standing in faith with you tonight, believing that he's going to help you be the very best version of you that you can be. It is so. Every time you say amen, whether it's over your food or over a prayer just like this, every time you say amen, you are simply saying it is so. You're saying it is done. We believe it. We believe it's already happened. And so I want you to type "it is so" and believe God. Listen, let me challenge you quickly. I've got 30 seconds. I want to challenge you quickly to give. If this message, if this ministry has been a blessing to you, I'm going to challenge you to give. The moderator should have the giving information on the screen now. You can be a blessing to our ministry. You can tithe into our ministry. You can sow a seed to our ministry tonight. And we know that God will continue to bless you for blessing us as we continue to do the work that God's called us to do. I want to challenge you to give. You can give one of three ways. You can give via CashAPP at $REHABCCGIVE. That's $REHABCCGIVE. You can give through our website, www.rehabcc.org. That's www.rehabcc.org, and simply choose online giving. Or you can text REHABWORKS, 2 words as 1 word. You can text REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202. And right to your cell phone, you will get a prompt. Click on that link. You can follow the steps and you can give right from your cell phone. Again, you can be a blessing to us one of 3 ways. CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. That's CashAPP, $REHABCCGIVE. Our website, www.rehabcc.org, and choose online giving. Or by texting REHABWORKS to 88202. That's REHABWORKS to 88202, and you can give, and God will bless you. How? Good measure, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. I want to challenge you tonight to give. Listen, I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Like this video, share this video. Make sure you do that. Tell somebody to go back and watch the replay. Very powerful and fast, but powerful lesson tonight. And then make plans to join us this Sunday, 9:08 a.m. As we continue this relationship series. It's going to get better and better. And I'm just grateful that you're going to tune in advance this Sunday at 9:08 a.m. And make sure you invite somebody. I want you to make it your business between now and Saturday to invite 5 people to tune in on Sunday. And we know they'll be blessed because they tuned in. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. I want you to have a fantastic week. Pray for Pastor. And I will see you guys on Sunday at 9:08 a.m. sharp. All right. I love you guys. I'm praying for you. Peace and blessings.
For watching the Rehab Christian Center live experience. If this broadcast has been a blessing to you and you would like to be a blessing to our leader, Dr. Zeb Talley III, you can sow a seed into his ministry by CashAPP at $PastorZT3. It is our prayer that this message of hope encourage, enlighten, and empower you to be better. Please tune in Sunday at 9:08 a.m. for our Sunday morning experience. And as always, be blessed and have a